Hey, what's today? Today is the 19th of August, 2022. It is Friday. I don't know what day it is, Tommy, right off the bat. My goodness. It's Friday, and this is our regular check-in, or irregular check-in of travel news today. I'm Rudy Maxa, travel journalist. I'm tired of saying this, but if it's your first time watching, I should say it. I'm a travel broadcasting journalist. And Tommy Danielson to my over there. I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota. Tommy is outside of Sacramento in his home, and he is an expert on frequent flyer miles and hotel points and rental car points and all kinds of things having to do with credit cards and all kinds of other stuff involving travel, including executive moves and airlines. And together we do own a sort of a boutique travel company, upscale European tours called maxatours.com. You can find it there. All right, so what's going on today? What's our travel news today, Tommy? You want to go first? I know you've got a bunch too.
Yeah, I got a couple things I just wanted to share. There's been a lot of things going on in the world lately. I think that I've found a couple of interesting things, starting with this is one of yours. Let me go over here. So it's we have seen a lot of the ancillary revenues power stream. It's happened with airlines and hotel for a long time, where you can buy an upgrade, buy an upgrade for you book an economy class, and they Lufthansa and Air France, KLM, all of these guys, they sell upgrades to business or premium and stuff. And hotels do it too. And for the first time ever, you can now bid on upgrades with Princess Cruises. I haven't seen this before. It's a world first, where you go in and there's a bid system where you can go in and you can bid on. So what it says here, Princess Upgrade guests can now bid on stateroom upgrade as a part of the cruise line's newly introduced Princess Upgrade program, which I find kind of fascinating.
I like that. Yeah, I'm sure that's good for everybody.
Right. No, because what we see also, the way that the dynamics work.
At what point do you bid, Tommy? I mean, do you bid when you
says here, launching on September 6th, Princess Upgrade is a bid-based system that allows guests the opportunity to secure coveted upgrade to ocean view balcony, deluxe mini suite, and even a full suite, according to so I think you do it, the timing is not disclosed in the article, but I'm sure it'll be the same way as Plus Grade does it with the Plus Grade is doing with airline seats, and I think that the way that it is, it's the same way on cruise line. I don't think you're a big cruiser, but the cruises that I've been to, that's often, you want to get into that suite, right? But a balcony room is $1,000, and a real suite, not a junior suite, because a junior suite is just a bigger balcony room. But you want to get into that suite, and the difference can be like $5,000 for a suite. So the gap between, the same time as with airlines, economy is $800, business class is $4,000. So the difference is just negligible here, right? So hopefully it'll be, I'm going to give it a shot and check it out when it comes out in September, on September 6th, in a few weeks, and see how it goes. I think that's a great idea.
All right. I have something interesting to tell. I went, a few weeks ago, I went to France to see my daughter, who has a vacation home in the southwestern part of France, in the Bordeaux region. And she said, do you guys have any Dijon mustard you can bring? I said, well, isn't that Coles to Newcastle? She said, you can't get Dijon mustard anywhere in France, and we're desperate. We're out of it. So I went, yeah, well, and I happened to have a jar unopened in my cabinet. And then I went to the grocery store that day, and I took a picture of a shelf like this right here and sent it to her. She said, oh my gosh, look at all that Dijon. Well, it turns out there's not a whole lot of Dijon mustard made in Dijon anymore. The mustard seeds come from, many of them come from Canada. And Canada had a very bad growing season for its mustard seeds, as there's a drastic shortage of it. And in fact, in France, many of the mustard seeds are grown in Burgundy, not in Dijon. Dijon is a city, obviously, in Burgundy, but it's not a region like Champagne is a region, where you can only use Champagne on your bottle if it was grown in the Champagne region. You can use Dijon on anywhere in the world. That is not a trademarked region that will sue you. So Dijon is made with seeds from quite a few places, including Canada. But anyway, in France, there's a shortage of Dijon mustard. So the message to all travelers is, if you're going over to France in the next month, your hosts, if you have them, or your friends, if you have them there, might be very pleased if you bring them a couple bottles of Dijon mustard. There you go.
I'm not a big mustard guy, but maybe I can bring them some Heinz ketchup.
Oh, they want that Dijon mustard. They can get Heinz ketchup, although it's a little different.
No, I mean Dijon is like the gateway to Burgundy. I mean, you drive out of Dijon, it's 10 minutes, you are in Burgundy, so it's not like it's far away.
They used to have a lot. They used to grow a lot more Dijon mustard seeds, I guess you'd call them, in Burgundy. Mm-hmm. But then those fields got taken over by more lucrative items, presumably grapevines. So, but there is still.
Where's Grey Poupon? Where is that from?
Oh, that's buried down there in the piece somewhere. I don't remember. I didn't read all that far down that closely. But Grey Poupon has its whole own story. Where's that story from? I forgot. I know I sent it to you, but does it say where it's from?
Sorry.
I'll look for it.
It is from. Let me go into your email, and so I can give people the link. It is on BBC Travel. So just Google Dijon mustard.
Yeah, if you really want to know about
Dijon.
Yeah. Okay, that's the.
I got a quick jab from you. Right now we are seeing a lot of demand, as we predicted a couple of months ago already. Airfare demand is dropping like a stone right now, and I see Gary's reporting this morning that SAS is selling premium economy from Newark to Dublin, and for $500 round trip for premium. Wow. And their premium economy on SAS is actually a decent product.
That's a great price. Wow. My gosh, it is.
But there's a lot of competition between Newark and or New York City, New Jersey to Dublin. It's a very competitive market and pretty decently priced. Here, you got to connect through Oslo and Stockholm in order to get to that. But it's obviously a phenomenal deal.
Yeah, and even if you want to go into London from Dublin, you can do it very cheaply. There are a lot of little flights going between the two. So, yeah.
Correct.
I sent you a link to Camp TWA. You know, the TWA Hotel, the old JetBlue terminal that the famous architect Sirion, I don't know how you pronounce his name, designed. It was empty for years, has been turned into a hotel right on JFK's, right at the airport. And they've got a camp up at poolside. They got everything there but pickleball. I mean, it's not just for kids. They've got, you can bring a group. They got croquet, ping pong, cornhole, Yahtzee, ring toss, tic-tac-toe, roller skating, and bumper cars. They must have a temporary bumper car thing up there. But anyway, it's a great way if you've to lay over at Kennedy, particularly if you have kids, because, you know, what can a kid do in an airport, you know, over several hours. But you can go check out the TWA Hotel. It's $30 for adults, $24 for kids. And you get a custom bandana sporting tiny airplanes for $20 if you like. Camp TWA. I'm sure until the weather turns cold, it'll be open.
Cool.
Your turn.
Good for them. Yeah. All right. So American Airlines, we got a little bit of news from them this week. They are looking for a new business class seats. The American has kind of been all across the board here with their business class seats and various. I think they have 4 variants in production right now, which, you know, it's kind of frustrating for customers because you know, you don't know which product you're going to get. They've nuked all of their 767, so I guess they're down to 3. But the Super Diamond seat is what they were going to throw a door on, kind of like this British Airways done. But there's a leak that we've seen in the last couple of days that they are looking at the Adian Ascent seats. So they're going away from the manufacturer they have today. And this is very modular. It's kind of the same. It's recognizable. This, what we're looking at here, it's got a divider in the middle and it also has a door. It's very hard to tell if there's a cubby hole or not in this particular seat that was leaked. But it's the same manufacturer as Hawaiian Airlines have on their in their business class, which I traveled with a couple of weeks ago when I was in Hawaii. I bid for the low ball number to get a lie flat seat from Hawaii to the West Coast. Not the longest route in the world, but we had the meal was the best I've had of any domestic airline on Hawaiian. So it's the same type of seat, but it's obviously a little bit different with the door and the divider in the middle. It seems like they're continuing the trend, though, that if you're traveling together with somebody, you're going to be it's more of a pod. You see, you're not facing each other and things like that, which is kind of weird. But
it is. Now, are there different? Are they making different seats for different aircraft? Is that why they have so many different models?
No, it's just there are. Here's the bed version of the plane of the thing. I don't know how that would work though, because
that looks like two seats.
This
doesn't
must
it?
be pardon?
That looks like two seats.
Not sure.
Either that or a
I don't
wide
think
angle
so,
lens.
because there's only one screen. Maybe there is, but that doesn't correlate to the seats we're seeing here, though.
No, it doesn't. Maybe it's just a wide angle lens that makes it look like a double bed.
You know what? Actually, that's not the seat that I took on a Hawaiian. It's completely different, the one that I had there. So must be a new seats with them. So I apologize. That's not the thing, but looks like they're trying to, they're going to have which aircraft they're doing. They're probably going to have new planes and old planes and, on top of each other. I mean, it's a typical American Airlines type of thing of doing, not just American, but for U.S. carriers as a whole. They have all these different products and all these different airplanes, and people don't know what to expect. You can buy a crap seat. You can buy Polaris on United, and you get an old crappy seat on that. Same with Delta, and same with American right now. And while the other because they're like, oh, we're such big, it takes so long to roll it out. Well, you have more people, you have more revenue, and it all kind of goes stable up to you. If you can't, scale things, you got to scale things down. But here it seems like the 787-9, will it be added to the other planes? Nobody knows as of today.
Okay.
And then you had also another, King. I think we talked about this earlier. Is that the
supersonic jet? Yeah.
Correct. Boom.
That I'm not going to live to ever fly.
Right. And American Airlines has agreed to purchase 20 of these jets. And I honestly don't know what to say. I think that so many things there. So Boom has been around for a long time, and they have yet to even get their test airplane in the world.
Right. But they're saying
they haven't. They've had it's called the XB-13D. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but this plane, the small version of the plane that they were going to test out, hasn't even flown yet. It's very, very strange that. I mean, this is I think the biggest question is, will this plane actually fly?
Well, United and American have both put in some millions of dollars to reserve some of them. And they say, it'll be London to New York in 5 hours instead of 8.5 or 9. It's it's a smaller Concorde, and they're promising fares will be equivalent to business class fares on a quote regular unquote regular airline. Okay. But we'll see. But it doesn't really start. I mean, it's years away. I mean, I'm not going to live to see it, and I don't buy green bananas, let alone have a high hope of flying this guy when they get it in the air, if they get it in the air.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's the story. The XB-1 is their baby Boom. The test flights are supposed to start. This is from 2020. They've been developing the baby Boom for 6 years before they developed this is the test airplane that's supposed to be testing at the speeds because supersonic travel has implications that might not be 100% gig here. This is an article from 2020 when they rolled it out. It has still not flown 2 years later. So
what did they give it?
They don't have the test airplane in the air either. So
in that article, did they give an estimate of when they were going to be flying that test airplane? Have they already missed their deadline? Or
yes, this is articles from October of 2020. So during COVID. The craft is expected to start test flights in 2021. It will not fly this year, I can tell you that much.
So they missed that, and they missed this year probably too. Well, it's an exciting thought for people who can afford to do it.
So, but here's the thing, though. This is kind of the contrary thing to all of this. American Airlines had a press conference where they were talking about, zero, getting
emissions,
goal zero, and pollution and all that stuff. And then this comes on the table. I mean, it just does. Yeah. You got to make your mind up. Even are you going to be because regardless of technology, of course, it's going to use less gas than than the Concorde did, right. But it will still spend 4 times the amount of gas than a 787 passenger.
And also
let's talk about the company that they have committed to. I don't think that they've committed any money. I think it's an intentional agreement so far, and I don't think that there's any money on the table. Prove me wrong is what I will say, because the company Boom has raised $240 million. They've raised since the inception, which they've been in business for like 8-9 years now, and $250 million. Guess how much money Boeing spent on developing their 787?
No idea.
$32 billion. Billion with a B.
Oh my God.
So
and then there's the whole problem. Because the whole problem, given the name Boom, the whole problem is the sonic boom. They can't, for example, fly across the United States at supersonic speeds because they break some windows. They can really only go around across large bodies of water because of the sonic boom when they hit supersonic speed. Yeah,
I mean the goal and ideas are good. I do believe that, but I think that the timing is wrong. We're talking about we're seeing massive temperature changes. We're seeing natural disasters around the world, and I don't think that this is a good time to do it. They said 2029 for now. Will it? The question from me will be if they're lucky to get one of the big guys to purchase Boom. But Boeing introduced a plane called the subsonic cruiser back in when was that? That was maybe the mid 2000.
I don't know.
It's called the Boeing subsonic cruiser. Let me pull this over here because I think this is interesting that you brought it up today. They brought up this airplane as an alternative. They were going to get the plane instead. All planes now go between Mach 82 and Mach 85 is the cruising speed. This new airplane with the aerodynamics and all that stuff that they were doing, so Delta Wing Canard is what they're so the duck wing design of Delta Wing is what they did. It was supposed to cruise right up to the sound barrier, the sound of sound. What am I saying here? So
the sound barrier. Right.
Yes, the sound barrier. Yeah. So it was going to cruise at Mach 0.98, which means that you get a full hour quicker between New York and London.
Okay.
So right. I think that's the 15 to 20% faster, which I thought was an interesting project. Boeing canceled it and spent their money on the 787 instead because their customer wanted to have planes that were more fuel efficient, and that's more important to them. So Boeing kind of led, and it's a gorgeous plane. I mean, I can't believe there should be a picture of it. And look at this this gorgeous airplane
like a jet fighter.
Let me see if it shows. Yeah, here we go. Look at that thing. Look at how gorgeous that is.
Beautiful.
I'm sad it didn't get built because the extra fuel that it used was negligible. It is, and also with the technology, the engines we have today, it would use less than the planes that we had back then. So I think that it's kind of sad that it didn't happen, but I think that focus should be elsewhere for now and looking at that kind of stuff. Right. And then you have let's see here. You had a Nobu.
Well, this is just a short item. I had no idea that Nobu, the very expensive uh, celebrity hangout restaurant that started with Robert De Niro as an investor in New York many years ago, is about to open its 30th hotel associated restaurant at a hotel in Mexico, in Tulum. I didn't know they're in Da Nang, they're in Atlantic City, they're in Hamburg, they're in Punta Cana, they're in Santorini. I had no idea that they had 30, and these are just the ones associated with hotels.
I had no idea either.
There's a Nobu in Malibu, which is not associated with hotels. So there are even more Nobus than that. But there are 30 that are actually associated with hotels. And they're about to open one in Mexico along the Riviera Maya, which I thought was incredible. That's everything I got.
All right. Lastly, just for you guys who follow our YouTube, Frequent Travel University YouTube channel, where we do a lot of stuff and, among other things, hotel reviews, I decided to go out and rent a Tesla this week. I was on a business trip. I came back late last night, and I rented a Tesla for the first time from Hertz. And I made a video about the experience that I had, and it was kind of interesting. If it's not that the Tesla itself, the car was the thing, but how is it Hertz has ordered 100,000 Teslas, right?
Are those the little ones? They've ordered the little ones, right? The little guys?
So that's these two. It's the Tesla Model 3, which is the one on the left, and this SUV version of it on the right, the Tesla Model Y.
Oh,
and I rented the Model Y. The one on the right is the one that I rented.
How much does it cost?
And pardon?
How much does it cost?
It was for the trip that I did now, $120 for the Model 3 on the left, and $160 for the Model Y on the right.
Huh? Did you enjoy it?
So a lot more than I usually spend for a rent-a-car, but I did it too because I wanted to try it out. Okay. But I will say, what was when I was in Denver, the reason why I wanted to bring it up here, not just to push if you haven't been to the Frequent Travel University YouTube channel and subscribe yet, you need to do that for sure, because Rudy has his channel, the one that you see this on, Rudy Max's World. But this channel has a lot of our hotel reviews that we both do, like simultaneously, and various stuff that we do. And this is how it is for somebody what the experience from A to Z, because you can go to a Tesla, just sit in it and drive. It's not like it's anything crazy. Yes, it's got a big iPad stuck in the middle and no gauges or buttons anywhere. But there were some interesting things in regards to one thing that you need to know is that the car that I had 330 miles range, and it came with 92% charged. When I got it, you can use the electricity. They're not going to charge you if you bring it back empty.
Oh, that's nice.
With the gas prices being really high, that's obviously you will recuperate some of that. And the hotel, when I pulled into the hotel that I stayed in Colorado Springs, they also offer to charge the car for free. Hey, I see you have a Tesla. We'll charge it for you. And I was like, great, phenomenal. So
I've driven a couple Teslas that friends of mine have owned, and my only gripe about it is it seems like when you ease your foot up on the accelerator, it starts almost braking. Did you have that feeling?
It's the regenerating braking. Yeah, you can adjust that. What I said in the video, and you can watch it yourself. But yes, so many of these cars have something called one pedal driving, which means that you gas and you let up, and you gas and you let up. Because when you let up, your car brakes instead of doing conventional braking. When you use the brakes on the car, you use the regenerative braking. You save your brake, but not everybody's a cheapskate when it comes to having cool cars and electric cars. I'm not a cheapskate in that per se. I like a good deal like everybody else, but Melinda owns an electric car, and the regenerative thing is there's a lot of people who are driving really slow with electric cars to save electricity and see how far they can go. So it puts energy back in the battery by doing when you let up on the gas pedal, you do that, but you can turn that down to an extent.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. All right. Well, cool.
So, and what I would say, if you were to decide to do it, with the prices start much lower than that in various things. But there were so many Teslas in Denver. There was more Tesla. There was a very busy day at the airport. That's why the price was so high. And the guy who was there said, wow, they had more Teslas in the lot than they have regular cars. So they were giving Teslas away to people who had booked normal cars. which is sometimes, you happen when you're overbooked and stuff.
Right.
So you might get one when you get to Hertz. So I recommend watching the video. It's no hocus pocus, but Hertz will send you. Hertz is the lowest tech company there is, but they will send you 3 videos on how to make your Tesla experience better, because it's like a Pandora's box starting playing around with all the settings you have in that car. And I enjoyed myself. I wouldn't buy it myself, to be honest with you. This little car, which the Model Y that I rented, guess how much it cost? $70,000.
Yeah, that's the smaller one, right?
It's the Model Y, so that's the mid-size SUV.
Oh, it is. So it is. Yeah, it's not the smallest one. The smallest one's like 50 or something, isn't it?
No, the Model 3 starts at about you can't get them. It's like they're you can't get any car like that. So it's funny because Tesla here, as you can see, they put potential savings. This isn't a fast car. I mean, I've never had a car this slow before. So this is the base model, right? Purchase price $47,000.
Yeah, I said about 50. You say it was slow?
This one is 5.8 seconds, 0 to 60. I mean, Melinda, she has an Audi e-tron 2021. It goes 0 to 60 in like 5.2 seconds. So that's faster. And, the Porsche Taycan electric goes 0 to 60 in 2.3 seconds. So that's slow. The Y is faster, though. And I will tell you that car felt pretty fast. My point, though, was that I wouldn't buy these cars. I mean, the whole iPad thing, it's glass. You have your finger marks on there. It's in the sun and things. And it's very crinkly. It's very noisy everywhere. And the road noise was like unbelievably loud.
Really?
I mean, the wheel when you go 70. Yeah, this is the one I rented. So it's the long range. And see here, it says 58,000. That's potential saving. It's that when you calculate how much gas you'll save, $66,000. And if you want to have for both of these cars, right? If you want to have for both of these cars, you want to order the self-driving capability, which is one of the most important things when you order that car. It's $12,000 extra. So you have a car that's a small SUV for $80,000.
Got it.
But it's going to be a part of our life for sure. And I thought the video is, I spent a little bit of time on it, and I think that it'll be helpful. But when you are renting a Tesla from them, make sure you do a little bit of videos in advance so you can learn a little bit about it.
Okay. Well, that's it for
and that's the weekend.
That's it for the 19th of August, 2022. Keep that in mind if you're watching this later on YouTube or Facebook. This information is current as of today, as best we know. But thanks for joining us, and we'll do a few next week, probably. Bye, Tom.
Probably. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers.